Hey Taurus, welcome to Star Tarot. If you are returning to my channel, I do want to thank you so very much for doing so. For those of you that have come into my channel for the very first time, I would love to welcome you aboard. I do want to thank you all for being so patient with me. There's been a lot going on my end. I'm handling a lot, doing a lot. I had a lot of personal readings as of late. So I am getting things out a bit delayed, but I am definitely here to deliver this message. And this message is not just for the month of December. This is certainly going to flow into the first part of January for yourselves. So just know that. This message is for Taurus, that is sun, moon, and rising. And if for any reason, this message does not resonate for you at all, or only bits and pieces of it, speak to your situation, but you feel like there's something more, there's a couple of things you can do. You can check out your natal chart and see what your moon and rising signs are. And go ahead and check out those videos to see if you get anything else that does resonate with you, or if it fills the holes of, whatever you feel is missing here. Or you can book a personal reading with myself. I do have a holiday special for the month of December. It's $40. You get 2 readings, so you're getting one and then you're getting a second one at half price. You can go ahead and gift that to someone, or you can keep it for yourself and use it for a later date. So that is the special for the month of December. And if you would like to go ahead and book, that information is going to be down here in the description box below. Also, I am going to be using the Fountain Tarot deck for majority of the reading. There will be some other decks that I might bring into the reading. Those decks will be listed in the description as well. And if you would like to purchase any of them, you can just click the links and purchase them directly from my Amazon store. I also had a few people most recently and last month abundantly asking me in my email how they can donate to the channel. That's not something that I typically would want to advertise, but a lot of people have been saying, I would like to, give a little something that fully resonated with me. If you're one of those people, I will go ahead and put that link down below. Again, it's nothing that is necessary unless you are felt led to do so. So that's the only reason why I'm mentioning it. But I do want to get into this, and just know that, again, general readings don't speak to everyone. Pick up what I'm putting down that does resonate for you and simply leave the rest. And time is fluid. Some of these events may have already started to happen and could possibly happen in the next couple of days, couple of weeks, and flow into months ahead. And definitely I see this moving into the first couple of weeks of January as well. So just always keep that in mind. But let's go right ahead into your reading, Taurus. We have a lot to discuss. This is taking a sneak peek of what you don't see coming. Now, Taurus, we have to have a conversation here. I don't want you to take this as a personal attack from me. The spirit is giving me the message. The cards are here. The cards never lie. I'm just delivering the message here, okay? So for some of you, y'all are really dedicated to what your image looks like at this point in time. Some of you are involved in social media heavily and are making sure that your image looks the part of what you would want, society to perceive you as. And for some of you, you are just wanting to be perceived in the world as a certain way. Maybe towards your family, maybe when it comes to, your job. You're really trying to fit into this image, okay? And that is a little bit more important to you versus your own personal growth. It's almost like, I gotta look the part. So that's what I am seeing here for you. Now, there are a few of you out here that feel like you have this driven passion right now to be right. I feel like there is something going on in your lives that you really are trying to prove a point. It could be just trying to prove a point that you as a person can live up to this image like others, or there could be a situation where you just need to be right about a situation that has gone down between yourself and others, or maybe even another individual, and you're simply not backing down. You're holding this position. You're really trying to state your case in a sense. I'm also seeing that for some of you, there is a failure to commit here. You're feeling like, either your love interest or family members are trying to get you to settle down or commit to a specific person, and you're just not in that mind frame right now. So it could be that it won't look good for your image, or it could just be that that's not something that you're necessarily wanting right now. So I do see some stagnancy here with your energy and a very strong stance. Taurus always gets this reputation of being someone that's considered stubborn. I do understand Taurus to a certain extent, because it is more so when you are calculating certain thoughts and the way things you feel should be. It's not that you're maliciously trying to place your expectations on someone else. It's just that's the way that you see it. You don't see it any other way, and it's almost like, this is how I see it, so don't make me see it your way. Like I see it this way, and that's just that. So it's this energy that I am seeing. But for some of you, it's based on image versus growth, needing to be right in a situation at this point in time. And for some of you, just not willing to budge on commitment at all. With the Two of Wands here, this is also in reverse. And this is what I'm sneaking and I'm peeking here. This is what you don't see coming, Taurus. Because of this energy of not wanting to conform, and in a way not willing to consider other standpoints at this point in time when it comes to a particular situation. It could be for commitment, it could be image that we're talking about here, it could just be a situation that you feel passionate about. This is going to cause some adversity around you. There are going to be individuals that are going to be pushing up against this stance that you are taking. And again, I don't think that this is a malicious act from others. I think it's because you have this strong stance. There are people that are like, no, I just want you to consider my side of things. I just want you to be a little bit more open-minded to what I'm saying. And so because you are so headstrong with this situation right now, this is causing some adversity between yourself and others. I also see that there could be a disappointment of failure coming your way. So for some of you that are working on something, maybe it is your image in order to build an empire of some sort, there is going to be something that possibly fails in this. Or it could be something else. There could be a failure in a relationship, but there is going to be some adversity for some of you. There is going to be some sorrow, and there is going to be a loss here when it comes to a relationship, I believe. Now, with the relationship, I feel like because you are so headstrong, and for those of you that are not willing to commit, I see that this could be an end of a relationship because of that commitment phobia that you may have. Now, you might have your own reasons for not wanting to commit. It could be that you don't feel that you are in a place in your life where you could hold down a commitment. You could feel like you want to be free. And we'll clarify this as this goes, but there is going to be something that is unexpected that is going to come crashing down, and I do believe that it is because of this stance that you are taking. Now, this also speaks of hesitation. If it was in the upright, this is action being taken. This is making a decision between two different decisions here. So this, again, in reverse, looks like there's some hesitation. There's some fear to make a decision between two decisions, two individuals, to, being who you really are and holding this image. And for some of you, it's, working at this job or being an entrepreneur. So there is, and take it how it resonates, but there is some stagnancy here. And, there is going to be some adversity. So there is going to be something coming your way. And with the Hangman in reverse and the Two of Wands in reverse, this is like severe stagnancy. This is you standing in your power and holding your ground to say, no, this is how I see it. This is how it's going to go. And for these other individuals, like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not signing up for that. So I see this like a head on, like no one is trying to budge and see the other person's side of things. So this is what I am seeing here. Now, what is really deep here? This is, I see that what is really going on for a lot of you is this Three of Swords here, okay? This is what is blocking the situation of this stagnancy. This is the result of the stagnancy. There is going to, again, be some sorrow. There is going to be some heartbreak. For some of you, when we're talking about being in between two different people, there is going to be some heartbreak here. This could symbolize third party situation. So if you are in a situation where you are, talking to two different people right now and you haven't been able to make a decision and you've kind of been, stagnant and really holding your ground and wanting them to hang in there with you, someone decides to walk away, and this is going to, cause some sorrow and some heartbreak. For others of you, because you're not simply willing to commit, now this might not have anything to do with third party if you're not dealing with someone else, Taurus, and it's just you and another individual, the fact that you're not willing to commit is causing this heartbreak. And then the third case scenario is because you are trying to do something here, you're concerned with image, and you're not really taking other people's insight on this, and there starts to be some adversity because I see some of you becoming very obsessive with this image. This could cause failure in this. It's almost like what you're hoping to get out of this painted, imaged picture does not come to fruition, and that causes you to feel some type of sorrow and heartbreak because you worked so hard on this imagery here. So what needs to happen, Taurus, is very interesting here. I do see that with the Queen of Wands here, this is, there needs to be some compassion here. I feel like there needs to be compassion coming from you more so, a little bit more warmth. I think that maybe your delivery, because you're standing so strong, I think that if you were to deliver this more compassionately, you wouldn't have as much adversity. Not to say that anyone would just sign up for, whatever you say. I do feel like you'll have a little bit more reception coming from them, and the response not being so, so dramatic. Now, the other thing is that you really need to have some genuine concern when it comes to others, because I feel like with you, Taurus, at this point in your life, you're really fixated on yourself and on this image here. and you really need to open up just a little bit here to give some compassion when it comes to others, okay? And that's with the Queen of Wands in this deck. Now, right alongside of that is the King of Wands, and so this is, you know, really needing to be expansive in your mind, you know, opening up, being a little bit more open-minded, having a little bit more maturity, so to speak, when it comes to your passions. And not to say that you're an immature person, but what I'm saying is understanding that yes, you have this passion, you have this whatever it is that you want. So if it's like, okay, so I have these two people that I really have feelings for, it's like you need to have some compassion and understand, like, hey, like, how do they possibly feel, you know, with these two individuals? If they know about each other, I mean, that can't be easy. That can't be something pleasing for them to be in. So having some compassion, but also with this, also having, what do I want to say? Having like this, you know, really being open-minded to the possibilities of these two individuals and really making a decision and, you know, taking some action towards what it is that you want, instead of, you know, having this, you know, hangman energy here and this hesitation, like really figuring it out and having the compassion, like, hey, I have to make a decision because, you know, this has got to be hurtful for these individuals. And even if they don't know, there's somebody there that's feeling a lack, like, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you. And that's because you're trying to, you know, share your time and space with two other individuals. The other thing is, if that's not the situation for you, you just need to show some more compassion here with an individual or towards a situation, and really, you know, still be passionate about what it is that you're doing, but have some compassion and being open-minded to other possibilities, not just what you have fixated within your own mind and saying, hey, it better go this way. I need it to, you know, be no other way than this, because that's what I'm feeling here. And I think this is why we have the Two of Wands in reversed here. Things don't pan out exactly the way, you know, book to book that you would want. And sometimes things just don't unfold exactly the way that we want them. Now, also with the King and Queen next to each other, this does symbolize that there is somebody here that is good for you. This is the person that you need to make union with. So for some of you that are just unwilling to commit here and haven't made the choice to go ahead and do so, and it's causing some heartbreak and some sorrow, you really need to understand that this connection here with this individual is a real union, but you definitely need to embrace it and be ready for it and not run from it and not be so headstrong as to, no, I'm not willing to commit, or no, you know, I'm just wanting more than one person. Like this, there is someone in your life, if this is pertaining to love for you. So just again, however this resonates for you, if there is someone in your life that you know that you want to be with, but you're choosing yourself at this point in time, or there's two individuals you're dealing with, but there is one individual here that you know is your queen or is your king, and the two of you definitely are a dynamic duo. You need to really let your compassionate side in. You need to break this cycle of not wanting to open up, because this person is going to be left heartbroken, or individuals, and possibly yourself. So just don't hang on to yourself as tightly as you are right now, Taurus, because if you do, you could possibly lose someone in the midst of it. And then also, for those of you that aren't dealing with someone right now, you could possibly lose yourself within the mix, because for some of you are so fixated on what your personal image is that you could possibly lose yourself or lose whatever this thing is that you're trying to prove, that your image is this, image is that. A lot of times people can see through that, and this might not pan out the way that you're wanting it to. And sometimes you just have to be yourself. People want the authentic person. And if someone doesn't want you authentically in the social media light, in the workspace, wherever, then you might want to consider doing something else or doing something on your own where you can be you. You know, you shouldn't have to live up to other people's imagery and expectations. Whatever you are passionate about, you should be able to do it within your own right. You know, but you still want to be presentable, but you don't have to sell your soul and be someone else. And that's all I'm saying. So for some of you, you just need to be true to you and, you know, be very careful not to get caught up in that space of having to be someone else. I am going to pull some guidance from my Love Angels deck here. Yeah, right off the rip. For some of you, if you do really let go and really understand that, you know, there is somebody here that does love you. There is somebody here that is willing to hang around. They have hung around. But this is somebody that you could possibly marry. Now, we did see this here, remember? King and queen here. So you don't want to lose them. So this could allow your relationship to go to the next level. And for some of you, I know you're scared like hell. You don't want this commitment. But do you really want to lose this person? For others of you, you know, you're already married or you're already in a situation with someone else. And that's what's causing this difficulty, this stagnancy here, okay? Let's see. I feel like this card wanted to come out. Yep. Make the effort, Taurus. Make the effort. It says, great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. All right? And I think for some of you, you're just scared. You know, again, I don't see you doing this self-selection, you know, choosing yourself, choosing to do things for self as a malicious act. I think that for some of you, you're just scared. You don't want to be committed because you are afraid of the failure of a relationship or maybe past hurts or whatever. But there is some fear here, and maybe some of you fear that you won't be able to do some of the things that you want to do if you are committed, that sort of thing. But let's go ahead and let's get some guidance from our Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. All right, let's see what they have to say, what their advice is. I really love this deck here. It really does give you some real, true, sound advice. Okay, that's what we got. So I am going to go ahead and see what it is, and we're going to read it right from the book. Regeneration. Regeneration here. Okay, I'm going to read this right from here, but it's basically what I've just said, and it's just confirmation. But let's go ahead and read this. And I always read this deck from its book because it articulates its meaning so well. All right. So this card speaks of rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities, okay? So it says second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or a loss is now being replaced. This is so amazing. Let me turn this page. By something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. Okay? So, again, this really speaks to what we were just talking about. Okay? You know, you are going to be able to get a second chance here. Whatever's happening here you do have a second chance. But the second chance is your decision. You have to make the decision to say, hey, there are other things I need to consider other than just myself, other than just my image. I need to consider some other things, some other individuals, okay? And in that, you'll realize that you're not going to lose your freedom. You're not going to lose, whatever it is that you are gaining from this image that you are upholding. There is going to be more authentic and stronger things that grow from this experience when you are yourself, okay? It's basically what I've just said. And then, even though there might be some failures and some loss here, you need to replace it with things that are more compassionate, like we talked about. And there is something more powerful that can grow when it's authentic, when it's genuine, when the guard is let down, when you just let things happen naturally and not trying to orchestrate certain things in your life. So that's what I'm hearing Spirit, as advice to you. They're wanting you to really open yourself up, consider other possibilities here, and really consider others and be more compassionate and get out of this hanged man, stagnant energy, okay? And I do see that you do need to make the effort. For some of you that may be in a third-party situation, it's time to be compassionate, make a decision, and release someone and allow your heart to open up to this other individual and move on with your life. You don't want to hold people hostage to the decisions that you've made and then be upset if they don't follow suit, if that makes sense. So again, this isn't a beat down, Taurus. I'm not trying to point the finger. This is what the Spirit is saying. This is the message that I've been given to deliver. So if this isn't you, simply just, walk away from this like, hey, this isn't me. Like I said, go into your natal chart, see what your moon and rising signs are. Maybe those readings speak a little bit more to what's going on with you, or book a personal reading. So again, this will not resonate with everyone. And, it's just time for rebirth, to go within yourself and to take a look at yourself. And a lot of other signs are having to do this. Myself, I'm even doing it. It's self-work. A new year is coming up here. We want to be able to move forward positively. And so, the Spirit is just prompting you to do that. And this is what I see for you in the month of December, flowing into the first couple of weeks into January. But I feel like you're going to figure things out after that. But we'll definitely take a look at that in January. So this is where I'll leave it for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope to see y'all on the other side of your very next reading. In love and light.